Doctor, coming at you live with my What the Hell Should I Be Practicing? So yeah, my channel here pretty much is aimed at intermediate level rocking people. I've got a lot of rocker dads on my subscriber list and rocker grandpas. I guess it's because I'm an old you-know-whatter. But funny thing about that is, in my lessons, most of my students are rocker kids, and there's a small percentage of rocker dads and or grandpas. But hey, that's life. But what am I talking about today? Well, I was just kind of noodling through my 4 essential licks there. I'm not going to go over any of them today, but you really should learn them. Check out some of my other videos that outline them. They're 4 basic phrases. It's kind of like learning Spanish. You want to learn the 4 cool common sentences in Spanish so you can communicate with hot Spanish chicks. You know what I mean? So you really should learn them. I play them in 2 positions there. I'll outline that briefly. In the 12th position, I played out of the home pentatonic shape, I'd like to call it, or the blues scale. This guy. Everybody knows that thing, right? So what do I got there? I got 12 and 15 on the top string, 12 and 14 on the next 3 strings, whoops, and 12 and 15 on the high 2 strings. And there's a blues version too, but you get my drift. But I also play that same scale in the 7th position, and I'm referencing the A string, the E note on the A string to find my way, because the scale shape is actually the same with one little tweak. Let's talk about that again. So if you look at the home scale, the one that everybody knows in the 12th position for E, what do we got? The E note's on the big string, 12th fret, right? And we got a big stretch there on that string from 12 to 15, right? Well, what I'm just going to do in my mind is I'm going to transfer that whole scale, starting with that, to the A string, where the E string, E note is on the A string, 7th fret. So I'm going to do that big stretch right there, E to G. And this time it's 7 to 10. So what happens next in the home scale? And you've got 3 small stretches that are all right next door to where you started, 12th position, right? So you got this. 12 and 14 on the next 3 strings. Well, guess what? If you move up here to the back to the A string again and do the big stretch from E to G on 7 to 10 on the A string, right? Well, guess what? You've got 3 small stretches right next door again. Look! They're the same! Now, when you get to the 3rd little stretch, though, instead of being next door like it is here, see how they're all at 12? Look, A string, right? 12, 14, D, same thing. G string, 12, 14. When you get over here and you transfer it over, check it out, what happens? Okay, I'm going to start it again on the A string of 7, 10. The next 2 strings are 7, 9. But the next string is not 7, 9. Listen. Oh, it's because of the tuning. You've got to move up 1 fret. So it's 8, 10 on the beat. Then the last note you can get in that 7th position is 7, 10. So, see, we're playing the same shit in different places, but it's very important. Let me click off. So basically, if you can play out of those 2 positions and you can play my 4 essential licks out of those 2 positions, you've covered a lot of ground. And then if you expand that with some of my other videos and learn how to end the licks on the right note that fits the chord underneath, you've really got a lot going on. So that's one thing you should be practicing. I would do it every time you sit down to practice. Put up a backing track or a loop of a song that you know the key of it in E or A, whatever key you want, but just be able to reference, what key you're in. If you don't know how to tell what key a song is in, just look them up on YouTube. The other thing is usually the first chord of the little progression is what key you're in. Usually, 99% of the time. Yep. So that's usually the giveaway. So I would practice those 4 licks along with a backing track. Don't forget the licks that I use here are just 8th notes, 2 notes on a beat, and they last for 2 measures, which is 8 beats. That's very important to get that on autopilot. The other thing I would do, though, really, if you're an intermediate guitar player, whether you're a kid or you're an adult rocker dad or somewhere in between, if you really want to learn how to play well, the other thing you've got to do is you've got to have a set list of tunes that you can play through from start to finish. You don't have to get every single nuance, but you've got to be able to play rhythmically all the way through the thing and catch all the breaks, whatever they are. You know, that's the goal you should have over the long haul. Let's say over this course of a year or more. However long it takes you to be able to rudimentarily get through 32 like you're playing a gig. That's what you want. You want to have a gig's worth of tunes that you can play all the way through. When I was a kid, the first couple of years of my little playing career, my friends would come over, "Hey man, can you play us a song?" And what dawned on my friends, but not me, was that I could not play an entire song. You know, finally they would ask, "Hey, dude, can you play a whole song all the way through it?" "Well, no, not really. All I really know are the cool licks and the ones that I can figure out. I don't know how to play a whole song." Well, okay. So if that's you, stop being a dumbass. Learn how to play a whole song. And again, we've got the horseshoes and hand grenades versions of songs. What does that mean? With a hand grenade, the hand grenade version of a song is where you're getting through it. You don't have every single little nuance that's in there, but you can play rhythmically through it in a basic way and not screw up. That's the hand grenade version, because if you throw a hand grenade somewhere, the radius of the destruction is, large. So you don't have to be very accurate about where you're throwing your grenade. Woo, right? But in horseshoes, you've got to be right on the money. The horseshoes version of a song is when you've figured out every single thing, and that's a long-term goal most of the time. Because it's hard to get all those little things in, at first. So that's my recommendation. Learn how to play through 30 songs in a basic way from start to finish and be able to keep up with the audio track, not just play by yourself. If you play by yourself without a drum track to go along with, you're never going to get into the groove. You can play with a metronome. They're kind of sterile, and I've used them for years, to get some of my shreddy stuff down, and and it's a real truth teller. But it's a lot more fun to play to something that involves a drum track that doesn't sound like a sterile click track or a metronome. That's just my take on it. But yeah, metronomes are important, but actual drums are way more fun. So that's up to you. So practice the 4 essential licks. Learn 30 songs. Doesn't matter how long that takes, but do them in a rudimentary way. And when you can handle all of that, then you're naturally going to want to learn more of the nuanced things, the more difficult things that you hear within songs. But don't pick songs that are over your head. Maybe pick one that's tough and make that be a long-term goal, but learn little snippets of it. But don't make every song that you try to learn something that's going to take you months and months. Go for some easy ones first. The low-hanging fruit. It's not a crime to be able to play some fun, easy songs just to build up your confidence and your ability to play a bunch of songs. It's important. So that's my suggestion. All right, so it's me, the Rock Doctor. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. You can still order me a pizza, but I'm telling you, don't get that vending machine pizza. It's bogus. Oh, and it's overpriced. Anyway, all right, I'm out of here. I love you. Bye.